We all love show-stopping meals, but guess what? You don't have to wait for that special occasion to cook something that's truly impressive. I'm going to turn these 4 gorgeous salmon fillets into an amazing salmon en croute. Now, en croute generally involves pastry around something that's been loved and looked after. It's a great family epic meal. It's exciting, but normally I would say it involves at least a couple of hours. It's something more for dinner parties. It's more of a weekend dish. So I've written this recipe for me and my family for the middle of the week. And this dish is humble. It's only like 7, 8 ingredients, and it's easy to put together. 45 minutes, start to finish, and I think you're gonna love it. First of all, we've got to do the stuffing. So we're going with spinach, onions, garlic. We're gonna flavor it up. Frozen spinach is brilliant. I always have it in my freezer. It's been cooked already, it's been squeezed already. All we have to do is bring this back to life. So about 500 grams of spinach is what we need, but we want to flavour it. So best friends with spinach, probably most likely, is garlic. So I've got some garlic, which actually, I grew this, which is nice. I'll just finely slice about 4 cloves, get that into the oil, and give it a nice little mix around. Like that, beautiful. To go with that, 1 onion. A little pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper, and let's start sweating that off, getting it nice and softened up. We want to bring out the sweetness in those onions. I've got a little bit of rosemary here, which is just winking at me, so I'll just nick a little bit of this. Just a few little bits. This is an optional extra. Any herb, I can't think of one herb I wouldn't want with the salmon and the spinach, so this is beautiful. A little bit of lemon zest really adds a nice bit of fragrance. So for me, the idea of an en croute is kind of like a present. You're wrapping something. So of course, what's inside needs to be glorious. So I really want to intensify flavour here. So I'll now take the frozen spinach and we'll go straight in. And of course, that needs to thaw, but we're going to fry and thaw. So let's just take this like that. So what I do now is just have this at a medium heat and put a little lid on top. 10 minutes, it's going to fry and steam. The spinach will defrost and then start getting flavoured with all that gorgeousness. Okay, let's have a little taste. Very nice. Little bit of seasoning, and that is going to be absolutely lovely. So, while that cools down a little bit, let's get the puff pastry out. I think puff pastry is a brilliant, brilliant thing. Look, it's already rolled out for me, and that is properly convenient. This is an all butter puff pastry. It comes on the greaseproof paper, so I don't even have to add any. Then just get yourself a baking dish, place this on top. So what I want to do is just build like a little landing strip for the salmon, right? To give it great flavour, but also to kind of make it look beautiful. Now, if you want to cook it straight away, you can put the spinach on here warm, no trouble at all. If you want to do it in advance, then cool this down, then put it together, okay? So we'll go into the middle of the pastry first. Use a spoon to push the spinach about 5 centimetres from the edge of all 4 sides of the puff pastry. It's super simple, and I know that's going to be super tasty. So then we go on with the salmon. So look, normally when you do a salmon en croute, it's a big whole side of salmon. It's a bit of a kind of spectacle, but this dish works really well with like normal supermarket portions. So what I want to do is just grab it and leave a little finger's gap in between. This really helps you because you can get a nice clean portion, so it helps you later on when you serve up. But also it means we've got the potential to add in flavour into those gaps. So look at that, pretty simple, right? Now what we can do is encase it. So we're not going to fully encase it, we're going to partially encase it. So use the paper to go up against the salmon, and I'll do the same on the other side. Tuck it in, push the pastry down, and that way you secure the salmon. So we're really making everything sit in that little package. And the same on that final side here. Don't worry about any tears or cuts. You know, if it misbehaves a bit, you can tuck it in. It's quite a pliable pastry. Season this with a little salt and a little tiny bit of pepper. And then 2 eggs, beaten up, and just brush the pastry. This egg wash will make this pastry go absolutely insanely gorgeous and golden and delightful. And this is going to go into the oven in 2 simple stages. I'm going to put it in the oven now at 220 degrees Celsius, and very importantly, put this at the bottom of the oven. Why? Because we want crispy bottoms, okay? So 15 minutes, that's all you need. In we go. Happy days. Right, let me show you a really cool little hack. Most of the eggs are still in this bowl, right? And when I came up with this recipe, I'm thinking, my teenagers, what do they like? Pestos, right? Jarred pestos, you can get some nice tomato ones, sun-dried tomato pestos. So a tablespoon of this in the eggs is like an incredible seasoning. It doesn't just have to go on pasta. Whip that up, and we've got like an easy 1 ingredient hack to take these eggs and make them amazing. So 15 minutes is up. Good smells are coming out of this oven. Let's have a little look here. Yes, look at that. So we're getting color here. I can see there's crispiness happening underneath. So we'll take that lovely pesto-y egg and it will go in between the little gullies and it will protect and flavor the salmon. Another 15 minutes in the oven will not kind of overcook this salmon, but it will kind of just make it gorgeous. Put that egg over the salmon. That will give it a fantastic little glaze. Look at that. It's gonna be amazing. So back in the oven for 15 minutes, and then it's dinner time. Exciting. Time's up. Welcome to my beautiful salmon on croute. It's scruffy, but it's utterly beautiful. Look at that. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Bubbling and sizzling around the outside. Look at that. I mean, it's all about the crunchy edges. Look at that. Just so crispy. I've done some greens here. I couldn't help myself. Got some lovely green beans, asparagus, sprouting broccoli, little kiss of olive oil. And that is a sumptuous, sumptuous meal for the people I love. All right, let's get into it. So, the nice thing about these gaps is it's sort of showing us where the portion is. Look at that. Look at the cross section. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like the perfect slice. Crispy pastry at the bottom. Gorgeous, rich spinach with the garlic, the onions, and that glaze of the flavored pesto egg. It's a thing of joy. Look at that. Little kiss of lemon juice. Fresh and delicious. Right, go on, let's have a little cheeky try. Oh. Pastry, salmon, spinach. It's so good. The salmon is flaking, and then the sweetness of the pesto with the egg is like elegance, just kind of like put over the top with the crispy pastry. It's a lovely, lovely meal. So let's not do this for dinner parties and friends. Let's do this at home, for your family. Honestly, you won't regret it. That food makes me happy, and everyone deserves that, especially now, more than ever. Right, let's take this to the girls.